one of the areas that we're looking at the moment as part of our work is around intercultural competency in relation to family violence for mainstream organisations, because we're at that point where we won't have enough specialist organisations to meet the needs and various other issues. So that's very relevant for us.
Yeah.
Could you tell us something that you feel just hasn't worked, an approach that just has failed, in your opinion, that we might learn from?
Some of the stuff around intercultural competency hasn't always delivered, because it assumes, in the UK context, and I'm hoping you'll do it really differently here, in the UK it's often assumed culture is a static force, and culture is dynamic and is varied and is manifested in different family settings in very different ways. And when that work hasn't taken place appropriately, it means that whole communities are essentialized. We assume that that's what a Pakistani family will behave like, and we don't get our head around the diversity within communities. And so that's been a piece that we've really struggled with, because it also hasn't always delivered on the nuance. And a lot, like women have said to me in the past, listen, I was talking to this worker and I was going, do you know what I mean? And she did know what I mean, because there was a shared background and shared experience. So it's how we have people much more competent in terms of their knowledge base, but also how we support people around the areas that they don't know. I'm British, I'm Black British, my family Jamaican. I could not tell you what Jamaican culture actually is supposed to be. I can tell you about my relationship with Jamaican identity, but it's diverse and it's a really small island, and my expression of my Jamaican culture as somebody who's Black and British will be very different from my colleagues, or from, other members of my extended family. So that's a piece that I'd say hasn't worked well in the UK. And so if you're doing it here, I'd say, I hope that you're able to do it well, and you're able to do it in a way that helps people to negotiate around the subtleties, because that's the piece that, that we haven't been particularly good at.
Well, that's valuable for us to know where the challenges are.